MMA people. We're going to talk about Charles Oliveira again today because there seems to be some confusion on my last video by a few commenters. Okay, first and foremost, I didn't even give Charles Oliveira enough credit. Okay, not only does he have the most submissions in the UFC history, not only does he have the most finishes in the UFC history, he also has the most performance of the night bonuses in UFC history. This man is the most exciting fighter in UFC history. And that's actually, I don't even think that's not even debatable. The most finishes, that's what creates excitement when you see finishes, knockouts, submissions, and performance of the night's bonuses are evident that you're doing that. That means you performed at a higher, you brought more excitement that night than any other fighter on the card. You brought a higher level of excitement than any other fighter on the card. He's done that more than anyone. He's rendered people unconscious more than anyone in the UFC, which means again submissions. If you go into a fight with somebody, the worst thing that you could do is be rendered unconscious, because then what? They can do anything they want to. They can do anything they want to. And again, if you go into a fight with somebody and they make you say, "Okay, I quit. I'm done. I had enough." Tap out. That means you lost that fight without question. He's he's taken it out of the hands of the judges more than anyone else, and he's done it in exciting fashion. He's given you everything you want to see. Not only, and he's also faced adversity in fights. This man, the doctors told him he wouldn't even play soccer. Are you guys? And then you tell, oh, he has these losses on his record. Yeah, look how much he's already fighting within his own self, how many battles he's fought within his own immune system just to be in the UFC. Yeah, there's going to be some losses. He has, and also name one person that he's lost to that you think can beat him right now. Nobody. That I guarantee you won't come up with a name of a. I know who he's lost to, and none of those guys can beat him right now. None of those guys that he's lost to could beat him right now. So that doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. The level that he's at now, you, who's gotten to this level? Who's seen this high up before and has to look this far down? Not very many people, okay? Not very many people. And if you want to say Khabib, let's look at who they fought. Who Khabib fought and who Charles fought. Charles has a much tougher schedule, a much heavier schedule than Khabib has had. And that's just the facts. You compare up all the wins that Khabib's opponents had at the time they fought and all the ones that Charles has had at the time, and compare it to each other. Okay? Do the math. You guys will figure this shit out real quick. And I'm not a Khabib hater. Khabib is great. He's one of the best ever. Khabib is one of the best ever. That's all he's ever wanted anyone to say anyways. I don't know why people are feeling like they have to call him the GOAT just because he's 29 and old. I respect that. That's great. But I'm not ready to say that Charles Oliveira hasn't done more than Khabib in the sport, for the sport. I'm not ready to say that he needs to beat Islam, which I definitely believe he's going to beat Islam. You got, they've been trying to push Islam down our throats for a while. DC has, Khabib has, Dana White has, Joe Rogan has, I mean, they've been trying to force this guy down our throats for a while. Which again, he's a great fighter too, but in his own right. I don't think. Now again, Ali Abdelaziz been trying to push this guy down our throat. He's always in the picture somewhere, man. I don't know what's going on with him again, but again, he's always pushing these guys like Islam down our throat. Which again, they're his fighters, but at the same time, why is it that his name keeps getting pushed? We're gonna find out if he's the real deal, and I want to see. I'm very much looking forward to this fight. It's almost as if Charles is getting written off. Like they're writing Charles off like, oh, he's just the guy who held the belt between the time and Habib and Islam. Ali Abdelaziz, oh, he's just keeping the belt warm while Habib left until Islam gets there. Like saying all this shit. Well, we're gonna see if that's true. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if that's true, okay? So you guys let me know again. If I need to go even further into what I said, which I think I've already made it very clear, Charles's resume and what he's been through just to get here in the first place. And look at the fashion in which he did it. Look at this man. This man has, you guys need to watch this documentary if you haven't already. Charles Oliveira, possibly the most dangerous man of all time. Well, for the smaller guys, okay? I got to break that up. Obviously, John Jones is always going to be at the top of my list, okay? But for the smaller guys, we'll say 170 and down. Yeah, I got Charles all day long. Pause. All right. MMA House on MMA Block. We in the middle of MMAville. And yes, we keep it real.